Kristi, I am super excited to be talking to you today about one of my favorite topics, belonging.
Cheryl, I think when we talk about belonging, we should be really clear on what we mean.
You know, I love a definition. So, Merriam-Webster dictionary defines belonging as a close or intimate relationship. And vocabulary.com says belonging is a sense of fitting in, like you're an important member of a group. So essentially, belonging means you fit in, you feel like you can share your ideas, you bond with others in the group. I mean, belonging is basically acceptance.
And definitions are great, but here's the thing. When I belong, I know it in my gut.
So perhaps it's best illustrated with a story. Can you share a story of a time where you really felt like you belonged?
Absolutely. Earlier in my career, I worked at a company that had been through a lot of business challenges. They had go half of the company, and the employees who were left were determined to see the company be successful. I happened to join at the time when they were moving into a better space, and the employees embraced me, and I really felt like part of a team. I gave extra. I look forward to going to work in the morning, and if I didn't come to work for some reason, people wanted to know why. I knew I belonged there, and I felt great about the work that I did, and we delivered amazing things because we gave extra, because we liked working with each other, and we felt like we were supposed to be there.
I have a similar story. What's interesting about our two stories, there's a parallel about this idea of coming through something together. So, very early on in my career, my early 20s, I was hired as the sixth employee in the US subsidiary of a German parent. So they just opened a US subsidiary. Um, there was a mix of expats from Germany and some US employees. And we really had this sense like we were building something amazing. And I ended up staying with the company for nearly 12 years. And in the course of that time, it was really great to see the company grow and evolve. I really felt like I made a difference there. I felt like my ideas mattered. I felt like we were a family, like we were coming together to create something. And then we went through the Great Recession together, which was a really difficult time. But it made us closer. You know, we had to let some people go, which was really sad. And it was difficult to go through because we were so close knit. Um, but those of us who remained really felt like we were, you know, keeping the company alive. And I really lived and breathed that company. I called it my baby. I definitely felt like I belonged there.
Some people term what we experience post-traumatic growth.
Yeah.
And what I think is interesting is I would like us to really explore how you can have that feeling without having to go through something negative. I don't think it's necessary, but a lot of times that's what bonds us together. And it's a wonderful time to have that discussion right now.
Yeah. You make a great point because right now everyone's talking about DE&I and culture, and with good reason, right? We are we're going through something together. But here's the thing, when you focus on belonging, all of those other pieces just fall right in line.
Belonging impacts the entire employee journey from the time you join a company to how you feel every day when you go to that company, and even after you leave, how you feel as an alumni of that company. And really, if we're sold on the idea of belonging, we really have to think about how we create it in the workplace through all types of experiences, not just negative. And especially think about belonging now that so many people who are working are remote.
And the question becomes, as I'm having conversations about belonging with people, which I am, the question comes up like, okay, but how do you do it? Like, how do you really foster belonging? And, I think of things like storytelling, like you and I just did, because when you see someone that has a similar background to you or someone that you can relate to, and they talk about their story of belonging in an organization, you start to feel like, oh, I belong here too. I also think about things like leadership coaching, coming from my coaching background. So, really teaching leaders how, like the mechanics of how to foster belonging. But I also really love this idea of bringing together diverse groups of people to brainstorm ideas, talk about what works and what doesn't work, tell their stories on belonging, and really just like sharing some thoughts and ideas around belonging.
If you're a leader or an HR practitioner or a DE&I professional and you want to explore the idea of belonging in this new normal, we invite you to join us in a small group roundtable where you can share your ideas with others.
So, Kristi and I are going to host these small group roundtables where we hope to bring together people from different industries and different backgrounds to share these ideas and thoughts on how to create belonging. We've got 2 dates to start off. We have November 20th at noon and November 23rd at 6 p.m. If you are interested in getting in on one of these awesome roundtables, you can email Kristi or I at the email addresses below. We hope that you will join us.